G'day guys, Dave from Detectormods here, doing a review of the Detectormods review. In addition to that, I'm going to be going over questions, statements, things in the comments section, and going through the process of how things work behind the scenes here at Detectormods. It's not just Woody, it's myself, him, a couple of offsiders that help here and there where we can, and we're looking to bring more people in to help really, we're so busy. But we've got this issue here that's arisen. Andrew is not very happy, and he's taken we'll call it unique approach to interacting with us after having work done. So in the videos, he does some tests, he's doing some side-by-side comparisons, and he does say that we won't reply to his email. So for context, this is how many important emails I have. This is how many emails I have. And this video was meant to be made a week ago. This number's gone up. Actually, I think I can click that without showing everyone's emails off. There we go. 7,671 and 2,586. So lots of emails, lots of correspondence, lots of back and forth. We've got Andrew's email that we won't reply to. Well, it's your lucky day. I'm going to reply to it. Here's your email here. You posted it in the comments section, and there's no information here that's more of a giveaway about anyone's details than has already been shown in your own videos, so quite happy to go through it. So, for context, last correspondence we've had with Andrew, excluding these videos, and one email last night. So what do we have here? We've got Andrew McAllister, a couple of questions please. I was at the Inglewood area of the detector, full modifications. Ground conditions were a bit wetter than when I tested before the modifications. Before modifications, I could easily hear all targets using normal and general, except the half ounce at 18 inches was most difficult. I'm assuming this is buried. I'm assuming. But detected if swung within 1 inch of the ground. Switched to high yield, I could not hear that one. With the modifications, my impression was it was about the same, maybe 15% better. That's pretty good. And when I put down my itty bitty gold, it seemed worse. Before the mod, you could get 2 inches. After mod, I had much difficulty. I had to put sensitivity to 18. Okay, so ground is wetter. If the ground is wet, as I've discussed here with Woody, you can see we discussed this internally. Obviously didn't get back to him. Only human. We're only human, guys. Things fall through the cracks. This is what happens. I think the guy's only issue here is the wet ground, as it's going to swamp the input with shenanigans. I'm sure is what that says. This is the GPZ. Last 15% in the wet is pretty freaking good. So I'm sure what that says. The orientation of the target could also affect it. If anything I said is incorrect, let me know. I'll message him back. Or call me and I'll email him what you say. Because if Woody wants a long answer typed out, I'll just type it. He doesn't type very long emails. You'll probably notice that if he emails you back, often it's one line. But anyway, that it is what it is. So first things first, 15% extra depth in the wet. We'd call that pretty good. Wet ground, poor performance, pretty stock standard. It makes everything more conductive, washes out the signals, and you get more response from the ground because now that's more conductive and it's all joined together and it's all yuck. So anyway, we've got your questions here. Are the modifications a standard set of component switches, or is each detector modified differently? Each detector is essentially modified the same, but if we skip ahead to your third question here, is there a tuning process? Measurements are taken after components are installed, and there is a lot of back and forth, going testing, measure, install, test, measure. It's a whole ring-a-ring-a-rosy of making sure that all the parts of the circuit have the noise floor squashed down as hard as you can. The more you squash the noise, the more information, the more resolution you have, the more you can read the email if this was a solid block. But if the noise jumps back up, if we have something go wrong inside the detector, the noise could jump back up. if something fails, if something there's things put over the top of things, if something falls off. There's things that are earthed inside the detector, components that have shielding that have to go to the earth, etc. If you had a break in that earth, well, now you've got something there that's meant to be a shield, but it's just a floating thing, and that can re-radiate noise into the circuit. That could cause issues. But we put a 5-year warranty on our work, so we address things like that. And I will tell you that this process that's been undertaken is not how to claim your warranty. That is not how you claim your warranty. You send an email, you pick up the phone. Us missing one email is not unreasonable. It's a two-man show essentially, and that's what happens. So I have a ton of emails. I don't know if this is number 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, but there's your answer to it. Oh, hang on. I forgot question 4. Capacitors burn-in. Forgot about that. Here's 2 more screenshots for you. That is essentially an old housewife's tale. It's not real. It doesn't do anything. And why people believe it happens: expectation bias, marketing influences, small thermal effects. To make this video actually have some useful information, that's important. That's really, really important, particularly with op-amps in the circuit. Woody will talk about how those need to hit an operational temperature to remain stable. So turning your detector on for 10 minutes before you started using it might make sense, but leaving the detector running for 20 hours to burn in the capacitors would do nothing, apart from, if anything, age the circuit. So you can have a read over that if it's of interest to you, but keep the operating temperature a real thing, capacitor burn-in not. So we can get rid of that. Okay. So we've got a whole bunch of comments as well, a whole bunch of statements in there. And one of the things that gets brought up is there's a comment in there that says, I believe the detectors were all chips and you can't operate on them because they're all chips. Well, here's a picture of, that's a 7000. And you can see there's some capacitors there, there's some chips there. This is a pretty dodgy picture. I've got another one over here. This is 6,000 on this side, I think, and that's a 7,000 over here. But you can see there's all chips. There's chips everywhere, and they're all on each side of the board. That's a really dense circuit. But if you heat the legs up on the chip will come off the board, and then you can reinstall it. Or you can change it for something else, be it a better part. You can do a number of different things. That is what we do. That's what we do on the GPX detectors. If anything, the 4500s, 5s, all those things, they're really annoying. You've got all this white paint. It's a total nightmare. You've got to scratch it off. It bubbles up. It's disgusting. It smells gross. It's not something you really want to interact with, but it's there. We're used to dealing with it. And if you couldn't replace chips, you couldn't do repairs. Every detector would be a throwaway unit after one failure if that was the case. So we don't need to see that anymore. Another comment in there says you've compared a 5000 done by Mick to your 7000. They use entirely different coils. So when you say you're using a coil of the same size, they're entirely different. This is a double D coil, 2 windings. The GPX 6000 and earlier use either a double D winding, which is this configuration shown here, a concentric, which is a small coil in the middle, and then a large coil on the outside. The GPZ uses this DOD design, 2 small outrigger coils. That center coil there is your transmit, the 2 edge ones are a receive, and knowing that double Ds don't work well on the other detectors that are out there, I know that it was most likely a mono, so one big winding versus three small windings and totally different machines. You'd get drastically different results. You can't compare the two. That's they are not the same. You can't compare those. Okay, So this situation actually mirrors another situation we've had in the past, which is quite interesting. So I'm going to bring up the screenshots over here. There we are. So this bloke here had some issues with his detector. Gold Monster. Similar premise with the work. We're lowering the noise floor. He could not get the performance out of it. We, luckily, it didn't slip through the cracks. Sent him an email. Had some conversation there. And there's at least 40 emails, or somewhere between 20 and 40 emails with this customer. Before and after everything. Woody made a video to explain things. And then he came back with this. He had another issue, which I believe we've addressed. And we've got his results from his tests after that. His performance gains are better than any of the tests that we have done ourselves. And he sent us those, and we're thrilled for the result. And he's even sent us these results here from his last prospecting trip. 13 nuggets, Equinox. 41 nuggets, Equinox. 21 nuggets, Stock Monster. Modded Monster, 250. There's obviously experience involved, but killing it. Fantastic improvements. Fantastic. There's even another customer that we've done the Gold Monster for. They've got a YouTube channel. If you go to the Gold Monster specific page from our homepage, it addresses all of that, and you can go watch their video on what we do. So that's a pretty normal workflow when someone has a detector done and they want to reach out to us if they have issues. Bit of back and forth. Maybe something's gone wrong. Maybe there's something wrong with the testing. We will help where we can. So what else have we got? We'll close this off over here. Go into some reviews. What do we got here? There's one of our customers, posted on Facebook, picked his detector up, flog patch, booyah. Awesome, fantastic, great results. Another customer, he gave me permission to use his email here, as long as I didn't put any of his details in there, which we haven't. He's got a modded 6, a modded 7. He also has a modded 6. He also has a 4500. He also has a GP Extreme. He also has an SD 2000. We've worked on all of those detectors and provided him with a number of different upgrades on detectors, aftermarket accessories, lots of things. And he also sent me this picture here. It's doing fairly well. And he sent me this picture shortly after watching your video, Andrew. So there's a bit of a difference there. What else have we got here? Paul. Paul seems pretty happy. Digging up some gold with his 7. Adam seems pretty happy with his 7 and his other detectors, all of which the premise of the work is more or less the same. I know we've had to do some warranty work for him. I think at some point in time, he would have called up, sent an email, something. Everyone seems pretty happy. What else do we have here? Here's a fun one. There's one of our customers with a modified Extreme from way back. Good old Sid. Killed it. Fantastic. Doing fairly well. The customers here are happy. And if we get a customer that's unhappy, we will bend over backwards to address the issues. Now, if we have a read at this comment here, I'm going to further explain the potential issues in my next video on small gold sensitivity. Again, this is something where, we put a 5-year warranty on the work. You're able to send it in. A potential issue I mentioned in my email to them soon after I received it back. And we missed it. Hey mate, sorry about that. But you could have done a follow-up. You could have called. If it was that important, you could have reached out. You haven't. That is the end of the email chain I have. Woody has been offering these mods for years. I've no doubt he knows exactly what they do in the detectors. My reason for the videos is not to fix my issues, get my money back and remove my videos. Your reason for the videos is not to fix your issues, but to get your money back and remove your videos. So in the email where you ask for a refund and tell us that you're not going to send your detector in, you're going to extort a refund out of us in exchange for you removing your videos, and you are not going to allow us to remove our equipment from your machine. That is not happening. That is not happening. That is not how we do business. If you have an issue, you can reach out to us and you can be reasonable. We have plenty of customers, plenty of positive reviews. There is
I found
plenty.
some web results. I can show them if you ask again from your...
Siri decided to join the show. I've got to make sure. Oh, you can't even say her name. She'll jump into it. We've got numerous customers out there. Anyway, Siri threw me there. Oh, God, I said its name again. Anyway, for example, we have a customer who sent his detector in. He got it upgraded. He got it back, and it was noisy, only with big coils. He lived up, I think it was in New South Wales. He sent his detector back and forth, over and over and over again. And it probably had 5 back and forth trips before he cracked the shits and drove down to see us. And Woody took him out the bush, and the bloke had a titanium knee. And the big coils are too close to his knee, and he's picking up his knee. The cure was a extended coil stem. We had a good laugh with him about that. Had another bloke with a GPX detector that was going coil overcurrent. It was throwing a coil overcurrent error. The detector came back and forth. We fixed a mylar in it. It was torn, I think. And he was very upset. He came in, drove down from Maryborough, I think is where he was. And you could tell he was upset. He was angry. And I said, I'm going to narrow it down. We're going to solve it. Because we couldn't get it to go coil overcurrent. He had the only power cable I've ever seen to this date that would make a detector go coil overcurrent. If you gave it a knock, bang, coil overcurrent immediately. The cure was to replace the cable. But, after that, we had a laugh, we had a talk. He offered to take me shooting, which I've never took him up on, which is a great regret. It probably would have been great fun, but now I don't even have the time, and I don't even know what his details are if I wanted to hit him up. But he was a cool bloke, and we came to an agreement at the end, and it was all fine. So, in short, this is a small business. Woody and I do the best we can. We miss emails. If you want a warranty claim, you can email us or contact us. Missing one email and not replying to it, I don't think is unreasonable. I think that's expected. I have received numerous phone calls from other customers asking me about this situation. And I say to them, if we did the work on your detector and you send us an email or call us and we didn't get back to you, and you made one attempt to reach out, what would you do? Would you call us? Would you send another email? Would you make a couple more attempts? Do you think maybe we're busy? You don't wait 6 months and then throw these videos up and then say, there we go. This is the whole purpose of this YouTube channel. That says it there. The whole purpose, my reason for the videos is not to fix my issue, get my money back and remove my videos. My reason to provide people with the information they need before spending a lot of money. So I don't understand this, but if I read this sentence as a whole, you want to not fix your issues, get my money back and remove my videos. And in the last email, you say you want a refund and you're not sending your detector here. Not on. This isn't how we do business, and this isn't how any of our customers have behaved in the past. And so everything to do with this, if your detector comes in, you post it in, as I specified in my response to your email. You can send it in, and opening the detector will be done in front of a camera, and we'll be checking everything to see that it hasn't been tampered with, because in your email you have mentioned that you have fiddled with your audio gear and so forth. This is unusual behavior. This is a first of its kind, and we have to deal with this situation unique. We can't handle it like we would everything else, because nothing like this has ever happened before. But in short, we've got thousands of customers, many of which we have amazing relationships with. A few I even chat to on odd occasions, and we have great yarns. Even though I'm too busy for the chats, I get suckered in. There's sometimes it's an enjoyable conversation. But if you have an issue, we will bend over backwards to solve it for you. That is what happens. But this isn't how to go about it, mate. This is not how it's done. So that's my review of these reviews, and hopefully a bit of enlightening information to open everyone's eyes to the situation. This is quite interesting, and we'll see how it unfolds moving forward. We'll catch you later.